Yeah, this is case number 545 on the calendar in the matter of Keaton versus Snow. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat.
Mr. Keaton, according to your complaint, sir, you are a property owner. You own a home.
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And on your property, amongst other things, there's an avocado tree.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm a city girl. I didn't even know how avocados came, whether they were hatched or grew on a vine, but now I know. Avocados are generated in trees.
Correct.
According to what I read, Mr. Snow here was stealing your avocados.
That's correct.
Shh. No. You have to be quiet. Was stealing your avocados, and during the course of this altercation, he assaulted you.
Yes, he did.
And injured you.
Correct.
You want to be compensated for that.
That's right.
For that injury. Mr. Snow, while he acknowledges that he was stealing your avocados, sort of, says that you provoked this incident by throwing one of the avocados at his girlfriend who was sitting in the truck. Now, Mr. Snow, I'm going to start with you. You were, in fact, taking avocados from a tree that belonged to Mr. Keaton.
Yes, Your Honor.
I would like you to describe to me how you were doing that.
I actually was driving down the street, and I pulled up under the tree, which actually hangs over the street. I have pictures I could show you as well.
Where are they?
They're right here, Your Honor.
Good. What were you driving down the street in?
A Dodge truck.
Where were you going?
I take care of a mentally disabled person. I was going down to just acquaint with him and take him out to breakfast.
Where does he live?
About 8 houses down from Mr. Keaton.
So you pass this property regularly?
Yes, ma'am.
And how many times have you taken property from Mr. Keaton?
Your Honor, I took it one time prior. I had taken avocados, and
how many did you take?
I'd say around 20, 25.
What did you do with them?
Made guacamole, Your Honor.
Well, you took them because... You took them because you felt that you were entitled to take them because the branches hung over into the street. Is that what you're telling me?
Somewhat, Your Honor. It was really easy for me to stand in the back of my truck. I didn't get out and climb into his tree from his property. I merely parked my truck in a legal manner and stood in the back and reached up and picked the avocados.
Okay. Did you know it was the wrong thing to do, sir?
Yes, I did. Very stupid.
So you knew it was stupid?
I knew it was stupid.
And you knew it was wrong. Now, on what date did this altercation take place, Mr. Snow?
Ma'am, I don't recall.
Mr. Keaton?
I know exactly the date, Your Honor. February 29th, 2004. It was a Sunday morning, about 10:30.
Now, you were going to see this person that you take care of?
Yes, ma'am.
On your way there, you decided to stop by and get some avocados?
It was a rather spontaneous event. I just kind of was driving down the street. I saw him up there, was thinking guacamole. Didn't think it was much of a big deal. I didn't think it would blow up into this and get us out of control as it did.
But you didn't just take 1 or 2 avocados, Mr. Snow, did you?
No, I think I probably had about 20.
Tell me how you got them.
I pulled under the tree and stood in the back of my truck, and I was pulling them off. And I had there was a branch hanging down so low that I climbed up into the tree.
This time you actually...
So yeah.
This time you actually trespassed...
From my truck, I grabbed a branch and I climbed into the tree, and I was picking them off and throwing them onto his grass, actually.
Now, Mr. Snow, let's say you're walking along the street and you can pick your hand up and you can pull down an avocado. Still, it belongs to somebody else, but you're taking one. But you didn't take one, you were a pig.
Yes, ma'am, I was a pig.
Oh, yeah, I can't even walk up a sweat with this guy. Perfect.
Happens sometime.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so you're home and you hear something going on outside. You walked outside. What did you see, Mr. Keaton?
Well, actually, I didn't hear anything outside. I had a job to do for a friend across town. I was going to cut some tree roots out and remove a stump for this lady.
This is not particularly germane to the case, what you were going to do across town?
No, but it's setting up the point that I'm walking to my truck with my tools to put into the truck. His truck was partially blocking the driveway with his passenger sitting in the front seat. And as I decided, well, I better ask her to move the truck, it started raining avocados from my avocado tree. And that's when I noticed Mr. Snow in the top of the tree, but I'd say at least 16 to 20 foot high into the tree, standing on branches, leaning on others, picking avocados as fast as he could. And at one point, I thought it might be necessary to retrieve his license plate number. By the time I got to the back of the vehicle, he was coming thumping down onto the grass, jumped out of the tree. How far he jumped, I have no idea. I'm surprised he didn't hurt himself. But I indicated that he had not seen or paid attention to my 3 no trespassing signs.
What did you say to him?
I told him to get the hell out of my tree.
Okay.
And if you would like to see some of the signs that I have here that depict what was right in line with the cab, not only of where he parked or where his passenger was sitting, they're clearly marked.
Keep off the tree. Keep going.
And then at that point, he did offer $3 for...
No. So far you told him to get out of your tree, and he did.
Yes,
so
and
let's go back to the conversation. Get out of the tree. You heard him jump down from the tree. Then what happened next?
Well, I think I demanded payment at 50 cents a piece for those avocados.
Exactly. What did you say? If you remember, tell me what you said.
I know I asked him for 50 cents a piece for the avocados. He did bring his wallet out and says, I can offer you $3. That's all I have. I says, you've really picked more than you can afford to pick. And I think maybe this is time where you should meet the sheriff department. Well, he slowly bent down and decided, well, I'm going to pick your effing avocados, old man. What are you going to do about it?
Is that what he said to you?
Absolutely.
Is that what you said to him?
No, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He didn't hit your girlfriend.
Yes, he did.
Bull.
Bull?
Bull. That's exactly what I said to you.
As bull? Bull what?
As in baloney.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kenneth Keaton says he was assaulted by Dustin Snow after he caught him stealing avocados from his tree.
Go ahead.
And there's no way I jumped 20 feet out of the tree.
Okay, so you jumped out of the tree because you knew you were doing something wrong.
I knew I was doing something wrong,
Okay,
so I
so
got
you
down to
jumped out.
confront him, and I was very rational and patient with him. I said, okay, I'm sorry about this. I said, well, what do we do here? Because I don't want any trouble. He said, you leave your truck and your girlfriend here, and you walk your down to the bank, and you get me 50 cents for every avocado.
Well, so far he didn't know that you didn't have enough money to pay him.
Well,
so
he didn't know. He didn't know. Yeah, this was.
No, just
this
a second.
Was about 15 minutes.
Just a second. So you must have taken out your wallet and went to give him some money, and said, "This is all I have."
Yeah, because I didn't want any problems.
Just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
And he said, "Well, that's not going to do it. You picked 20 avocados." And then, according to you, he said, "Well, you're going to leave your truck and your girlfriend. You go to the bank and get me some money."
Walk. He wanted me to walk.
Walk, right? Like you were climbing the tree. He wanted you to walk to the bank.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. What happened next? Come on, I'm still waiting for a rebuttal to what he says that you told him that day.
About the effing avocados that he said?
Yes.
I don't recall saying that at all.
What do you recall saying to him?
I recall being very rational and patient with him, saying, hey, look, buddy, I don't want any problems. I pulled out my wallet and said, look, this is all I have is $3. I'll even leave these. I made a pile of them right there on his property. I set them aside. I said, here's your avocados. Here's $3. I'm not gonna leave my girlfriend in my truck here, walk however many miles to the bank.
I absolutely agree with you. Go ahead.
And I said, he had my driver's license number. If he needed to get the police going into it, he could have.
So what'd you do next?
After that point, it got kind of stupid. We were sitting there just saying, okay, well, you do this, you do this. I said, I'm not doing it. I went back and forth. I said, okay, that's enough. I looked at my girl. I said, sweetheart, we're going to get out of here. I might have said, let's get the F out of here. Might have used a bad word. Walked around to the front of my truck to get into my truck.
By that time, you were in the...
we were on his front lawn. I put the avocados in a pile.
You walked to get into the driver's side of your truck.
Right, I went around the front of my truck.
Did you open the door?
Yes, I just got to open the door.
And where is he?
He is sitting directly point blank in front of the passenger, which is my girlfriend.
Okay, so he's sitting there.
Oh, not sitting, standing.
He's standing.
Right in front of the pile of avocados that I had made for him.
Okay, good. And you had the door open.
And I said, this is enough. This is stupid. He's got our license plate. He can call the police and make a report if he wants.
Fine.
We're out of here.
And
we're out of here.
Keep going.
And then as soon as I went and opened my door, I hear loud thumps. And I look across, and I kind of look through the console of the car. And there was at least 3 avocados, at least 2, probably 3 thrown. I have dents in my truck. It was point blank at my girlfriend. I have pictures of the dents if you would like to see them.
I'm more interested in seeing the picture of your girlfriend.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
No. I'm more interested in seeing the picture of your girlfriend's injury, because that's what you say. You say she was injured.
No, she got hit. We didn't go to the hospital or anything. She wasn't hurt. She was hit, but not hurt.
Okay, keep
She
going.
kind of put her hands up to defend herself.
So that didn't hit her?
Well, one hit her, yes.
Where? In the hand?
In the arm, yeah.
You believe. Okay, keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
So I went around the front of my truck, and, he was assaulting my girlfriend. He brought violence into the situation.
Just keep going, sir.
So I ran towards him, and I grabbed him by the back of the legs around his knees, pulled his feet out, and just put him on his butt. Now, Your Honor, I'm a very strong man. I could have done a lot of damage to this fella, but I kept my wits about me, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to beat up on this old guy. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want any of this. I wanted to leave.
Why didn't you leave?
Because he's pelting me and my girl with avocados.
Take you 2 seconds, get into the car, close the window, and leave. Take you less time to do that than close the door, walk around the truck, and pull his legs out from under him.
I didn't feel like fleeing, Your Honor.
You didn't feel like not fleeing,
no.
Leaving.
Well, after he's pelting avocados in my truck, that wouldn't be very smart of me.
Oh, it would have been very smart of you.
Why?
Why? I usually don't answer questions, especially questions that are stupid, but I'm going to answer your question, sir, because according to what you just told me, this situation that was instigated by your criminal activity had begun to escalate into violence. And smart people, when they are faced with a situation of escalating violence, extricate themselves from the situation. Do not put themselves into the situation with gusto.
Most people don't, but I did.
Then you're responsible for his injury, sir.
Even though he started with the violence.
He didn't start it, sir. You broke the law. You trespassed on his property. And to be quite honest with you, Mr. Snow, he didn't hit your girlfriend. According to you, according to what you said in your answer, which is different from what you're saying now, you said he threw one through an open passenger window from point-blank range and hit my girlfriend.
Yes, he did.
Bull.
Bull?
Bull. That's exactly what I said to you.
As bull? Bull what?
As in baloney. You did the wrong thing, and you're a smart aleck.
No, I admit to doing the wrong thing.
Twice. Not once, but twice. Because aside from committing a crime, it's not a major crime, but you were a pig. Because if you wanted to go to this handicapped person's house that you were taking care of and bring him an avocado, then you take 2 avocados, maybe 3. You don't climb up.
You ever made guacamole, Your Honor? You need several.
Listen to me. I allowed you to ask me one question, which I answered. You only get one opportunity. Why don't you try listening? Your activity that you acknowledge you knew was wrong precipitated an incident, and somebody else was injured. Not her. Not her. And it was a situation that you could have extricated yourself from in a second. You chose not to do that. So you chose to violate this man's property, not once but twice. You chose to stay in the situation because you could have left. No question. You could have left. He had your plate number. You were getting into your car, take off, go to the police, say, listen, I was trespassing on this man's property, stole his property, but then he did what he shouldn't have done. He threw avocados, and my girlfriend had to deflect there because one of them almost came in the window.
It did.
Baloney.
Baloney? You weren't there.
Baloney.
How do you know that?
Your Honor, I have some doctor's reports and bills and also pictures of my injuries. And I also have retained an attorney for the criminal charges that were finally dropped.
How's your arm now?
I do have pain in it from use, like using a weed eater or a hammer to, build my little birdhouses or something like that. And sometimes it turns all white, the skin, because there's so much pain.
Did you ever see the photographs of his injuries, sir?
No, ma'am.
Well, I'd like you to take a look at them. This is what just started with your criminal activity, Mr. Snow.
There was also more taunting by the time I got myself picked up off of the curb that I landed on to cause those type of injuries to my wrist. If he denies about making jaunts or gestures, he continued this taunting at the back of the truck where I was trying to catch my breath.
There's no question in my mind that he's a smart aleck.
No.
No question in my mind. He thought the whole big deal was nothing. Should have just let it go. How long have you been with him?
2 years now.
Your Honor?
Yes.
There's also police reports that go into his past where it was still on probation at the time he did this assault on me, to where he had probably on probation for aggravated assault anyway.
Is that true, Mr. Snow?
No, ma'am.
Were you on probation at the time of this incident?
No, ma'am. Not to my knowledge.
What does that mean? Had you been convicted of a crime?
No.
Well, then the answer would be absolutely not. You couldn't have been on probation or parole because you've never been convicted of a crime.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yes.
You have proof to the contrary, Mr. Keaton?
Yes, here's
I'd just like to see it with regard to his credibility.
Department that probably would make a lot more sense to you and you could find what you're looking for.
Let's take a look.
There are several pages of different arrests and court cases that's been settled. I'm sorry.
Well, he's got a problem with alcohol. How many DUIs do you have, sir?
1, Your Honor.
Convicted?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, what do you think a DUI is?
Driving under the influence.
It's a crime. And you were sentenced to 3 years probation.
How long ago was that?
Why are you asking me questions? What difference does it make? I said, well, you want probation? You said, I don't know. I don't think so, not to my knowledge. Were you ever convicted of a crime? No. Well, then you couldn't have been on probation.
Well, I believe it was 98. That's why I asked you that.
What difference does it make, sir?
Because
You're
you said
playing
3
with
years.
me.
You said 3 years, correct?
You're playing with me, sir. I asked you if you were ever convicted of a crime. You were convicted of battery, misdemeanor battery. 3 years probation, 1 day in jail. Remember that?
Yes.
When was that?
I don't recall the date.
You had arrested as a juvenile too, Mr. Snow?
I don't recall.
There was 1 conviction for DUI, but it covered 3 cases. That sound familiar, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Snow,
Yes,
it
ma'am.
looks to me, sir, as if for the past couple of years at least, you have remained out of trouble.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the matter? It was too long a period for you?
No, ma'am.
I mean, I look at this and I see that you had trouble in 98, 99, 2000, 2001, and probably as a juvenile, because your juvenile records probably is sealed in this county, but it certainly indicates that you had a history as a juvenile. And then all of a sudden, a couple of years, you do just fine. Maybe it's her influence on you. Who knows? She said you've been together a couple of years, so maybe she's a good influence on you. What would prompt you to do something so stupid, sir?
Guacamole.
Well, that's pretty stupid.
That's what I say.
That's pretty stupid. Then
Very
I would
stupid.
think twice, madam. If his love for vegetables interferes,
a fruit, Your Honor.
if his love for fruits and vegetables interferes with his good judgment, then I would think twice about hooking my star to his wagon. Checking for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I feel at the end.
Yes, this is case number 491 on the calendar, the matter of Sutton versus Nicholson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat, please.
You know what's sort of interesting? The ladies come, they usually on that side, plaintiff's side, and they come with all the paperwork. On this side, usually the boyfriends, they come with nothing but a smile.
Travel lightly.
Is your attaché case on the ground over there? No?
No.
Well, I'm certain you're going to be very convincing.
Yes.
Miss, what?
I was just thinking to myself, he's got the truth on his side. That's all he needs.
Well, he's got something on his side. I failed to see it, but I'm sure it's there. You used to live with him,
No, he rented a house for my parents.
and you sometimes shared it together.
I was up there a lot, yes.
Enough so that you decided to get a credit card and give him one of the cards?
Yes, he had asked me to get him a card.
And you did that?
I did.
And by the time the two of you parted ways, according to you, he had maxed out the credit card. And in addition, you made a loan to him to help him pay his taxes.
Yes.
The amount of...
$1,000. He was in trouble with the IRS, is what I was told.
Okay. Did she give you any money for taxes?
She did.
Was it a gift or a loan?
It was a loan.
It was a loan. Did you pay her back?
Yes.
How?
Cash.
When she gave you the $1,000, was it in check or cash?
It was in check.
Wouldn't you think it was smart to give her back the money the same way?
Your Honor, we were planning to get married in June of this year, and we shared finances.
You're telling me your whole story, your
I
whole
wasn't
major
planning-
thing here. I'm not interested. What I'm saying to you
wasn't
is, when
planning-
did she give you the $1,000?
I don't know.
In '04.
Do you remember what month? You would have the copy of the
I
check.
do have a copy of the check.
I'd like to see it, please. Tell me when you decided to get married, sir.
December 23rd of 2003.
So that when she gave you this in September of 2004, you were still planning to get married,
Yes, Your Honor.
right?
Yes.
When did you give her back the money in cash, sir?
It would have been the end of the month,
End of,
September.
all in one lump sum?
Actually, I believe it was 2 payments.
Give me the amounts of the 2 payments.
I want to say one was for $400 and the other was for $600.
Where did you get that money from?
Paycheck. I was paid on the 25th of every month,
Yes.
and it would have been from that.
And what did you do with your paychecks?
Deposit them at the bank?
So that you would have taken out this money, this $400 and $600.
Yes, Your Honor.
Lean down from in your attaché case, sir, and show me the withdrawal from your bank for $400 and $600.
I didn't think that would be credible evidence because it didn't state to who it went to.
It doesn't make any difference. It would have been some evidence that at the end of the month you took out $400 and $600, right?
Yes.
So instead of coming with some evidence, you come with no evidence.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
Yes.
Did he ever give you money for the taxes?
No, he did not.
No. Now, let's get to the credit card. Go ahead.
Well, I got a credit card, and he had asked me to get him a credit card in his name, so I did, and the limit was $4,000. He had been making payments the entire time, and then things started going sour, so he did make a $1,500 payment.
He did or he didn't?
He did.
When?
I believe it was in August. Yes, it was in August.
Is that before or after you broke up?
That was before. And then basically everything's just started going bad. He was gambling too much. He was charging my credit card with party poker on the internet, and it ultimately...
Why are you smiling at her?
What's that?
Did you tell him what I said?
Why are you smiling at her?
Because not everything she's saying is true, Your Honor.
Is anything that she's saying true?
Yes.
Did you use the credit card to play party poker?
When we were both there,
Both where?
playing party poker.
Did you ever play by yourself?
No.
Did you have a gambling problem?
No.
Did you gamble?
Well, yes, on party poker, Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a letter from him 2 days after we had broke up. He left it on my car, and it says he was going to Gamblers Anonymous.
Can I see it, please? Look. He says he apologizes for his actions on Friday night. This was in October. He embarrassed you at your place of work. What did he do?
He came to my work. He got really drunk. I don't really want to talk about it, but he decided he was going to tell me he was going to commit suicide. I had to call the cops on him, and they took him to the mental health.
I'm starting Gamblers Anonymous, effective tonight at 7 p.m. in Ventura. Were you successful?
I never wrote that letter, Your Honor.
I do have another letter with his writing, talking about his anger problem.
You never wrote this letter?
No, Your Honor.
This is strange. Why would someone that you were engaged to sign his letter with love, Matthew Nicholson? That's strange. Okay, let me see another letter that you say you have that he wrote. Take out your wallet, Mr. Nicholson. Take out your driver's license. Not the same.
It was left on my card, and he called me that Sunday night, telling me he was at his
Give
meeting.
this to him. No, but the handwriting on this check is very similar to these letters.
No.
Similar. I'm not a handwriting expert, but similar. Give these back to the plaintiff, please. See? Am I fair?
Yes, Your Honor.
That doesn't mean you're going to be successful, but it means that when she tries to put something over on me, I'm going to put my heel on her throat. Don't ever do that again.
I swear I didn't write that letter.
Well, he didn't.
Okay. I
don't know who did, but he didn't.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Kevin Jewelers.
That would be a pair of diamond earrings, which she still has in her possession, Your Honor.
Well, that was a gift. You didn't expect her to pay for a gift.
What's that?
What word didn't you understand?
And later today,
He proceeded to grab the bottle of rum and continue to pour it on his own. He started to show signs of inebriation.
Did you tell him to stop?
I said, yeah, slow down, big boy, you know.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Nikki Sutton says ex-fiancé Matthew Nicholson owes for credit card charges and a loan to pay back taxes. Nikki claims Matthew has a gambling problem.
Now, let me see the credit card stuff. I want to see some of the things that were charged, please.
This is the entire year that the credit card was charged. I have paperclip the statements I have received back from the merchants with his signature on them.
He doesn't deny that he used the credit card. He said that you used it for things like buying furniture for the house, which you kept, going out, dinners, all kinds of things. So
Your
let's
Honor.
see.
I used my other credit card to buy the furniture for the house.
Just a shh. Who has Allstate insurance?
That'd be me.
Well, this is your bill.
Yes.
That's not a joint bill.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Who works out at LA Workout?
I work for the company, Your Honor.
You work for the company. Well, that's yours,
Yes, Your Honor.
right?
Yes.
Total Eclipse Professional. What is that?
I do not know, Your Honor.
I believe that was for his tenting on his windows.
That sound right?
Yes, Your Honor. She said she was paying for that.
Well, she didn't. You did on the credit card. How about Urban Home? What is that?
I know what that's for. That's the bar that he has in his house that he split with the other roommate.
That sound right to you? It's easy enough to find
Sure.
out.
Yeah, I imagine it is, Your Honor.
Well, so that's your bill, right? I'm just picking some of the big ones.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Secret Garden Florist. When's your birthday?
March.
Did you have a fight or something in September?
I don't recall, but there is a...
Secret Garden Florist. Did you ever send him flowers?
No.
Did you ever send her flowers?
Occasionally.
Well, you don't expect her to pay for her flowers, do you?
Now I do.
No. Kevin Jewelers, $749.99 back in December.
That would be a pair of diamond earrings, which she still has in her possession, Your Honor.
Well, that was a gift.
It was
You didn't
Christmas.
expect her to pay for a gift.
What's that?
What word didn't you understand?
No, I don't.
Well, then that's your bill. That's so far the biggest bill that's here.
Probably is, Your Honor.
You see where I'm going on this, sir?
I'm following you. She was paid cash for a lot of the stuff.
Show me.
I can't. If I
Well, then that's your problem, quite frankly, sir. What's Adelphia?
Cable company.
$254?
for the house that I was living in.
That
which
you
she
were living
shared.
in?
Correct.
That it was your house?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Who has a Verizon wireless bill?
I have a Nextel phone, Your Honor.
He had Verizon. I have proof that I paid my Verizon bills with checks. I have them all.
You have them all?
I have them all.
Good. You see what happens when you come prepared? What's the balance on the credit card?
The balance comes over $4,000.
There's something, the only thing I don't like about your case, even though it's very well prepared, is those letters. However, maybe it's possible somebody else wrote them, not you. Possible, but not probable. Mr. Nicholson, you have to pay your debts, sir. She gave you $1,000 to pay your taxes. You have to pay that, and you have to pay these bills that are on the credit card. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm just glad it's over. I don't have to deal with her anymore, and I can move on in my life.
We were planning on getting married, but the evil side of him came out.
Now that this is done, I can completely forget about her.
There is no animosity. I hope he has a great life.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Dowling versus Shelley. Step forward, please.
Artist Megan Dowling is suing computer support technician Keith Shelley for the cost to fix a marble table. Megan says the table was damaged when a drunken Keith fell on it.
Miss Dowling, according to your complaint, Mr. Shelley, while in your home, broke a table, an antique table of yours.
Correct.
You want him to pay to have it repaired. Now, how do you know Mr. Shelley?
He's an employee of a friend of mine.
How did it come about that he was at your home?
Well, I had gone over to my friend's place of employment. He owns a warehouse where he works, and Keith was working there. And the friend brought out a bunch of wine after work, and we were sipping wine, and we all went to dinner after that.
So first you were drinking at the warehouse.
Correct.
How long did that drinking last at the warehouse?
Oh, about 45 minutes.
After you finished drinking at the warehouse, you all went out for dinner. How many people went out for dinner?
4.
Raise your hands. 1, 2. Either of you there? Raise your hand if you all went out for dinner.
No, I wasn't there. I'm sorry.
Who do you live with?
I had a roommate, this gentleman over here, Bill Gaylord, who's a witness.
Were you there when this happened with the table?
Yes, I was.
But you had not been out for dinner with them?
No, I have not.
So first you went out for dinner, 4 of you. And how long was dinner?
Pretty short. It's about an hour.
Did you drink?
I think I had a half a glass of wine.
Well, you had been drinking at the warehouse.
I had a glass of wine.
Okay. How did Mr. Shelley end up back at your house?
I invited my friends and Mr. Shelley for a postprandial cocktail.
A what?
A post-dinner cocktail, a nightcap. I had some very excellent rum, and I thought I'd introduce them.
And what time did you get back to your house?
Oh, I don't know, approximately 8.
But none of the other friends took you up on it, only Mr. Shelley, according to your complaint.
They originally were going to come over, but then they decided to not come after all.
And Mr. Shelley came over.
Correct.
And you gave him some of this wonderful rum?
Right.
What'd you drink?
I had some rum.
How much?
Oh, I don't know, about 2 drinks.
What about Mr. Shelley?
Well, he originally said he was going to have just 1 drink and then go. And I said, that's fine. I don't really want to share a very expensive, an entire bottle of rum with you.
Did you say that to him?
Yeah, yeah. And so I poured us both a glass of rum, and he finished it, and he proceeded to grab the bottle of rum and continue to pour it on his own. And I was getting a little irritated.
Did you tell him to stop?
I said, yeah, slow down, big boy, you know, because he started to show signs of inebriation.
So you told him to slow down, but you didn't tell him to stop.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Megan Dowling says one-time acquaintance Keith Shelley owes for breaking her marble table. Megan says Keith fell on it when he was drunk.
When did you get home that evening, sir?
I got home about 10, maybe 15 minutes before the incident.
Why don't you step up here? Tell me your last name.
Gaylord.
You rent a room, share an apartment?
I was subletting a room from her at the time, yes.
Tell me what you saw when you came home.
They were sitting down together, having a drink.
And?
He was getting up just about to leave, and I was going to see him to the door, so I headed towards the front door, and the moment I had turned the back is when I heard the crash.
So he fell over a table?
More on it. So, large marble, heavy marble top.
He wasn't hurt, was he?
To the best of my knowledge, no.
Go ahead.
I also had told Keith to stay at my house a little longer before he left because I saw that he was a little inebriated. And I said, either you stay here or you take a cab home, but I'm not letting you drive like this, so.
Right, because you know what could happen?
I could get sued and he could hurt people.
You're right.
Yep.
You could get sued if he drove and hurt people.
I am well aware of
Because you served him alcohol in your house.
That's correct.
So if you know, Miss Dowling, that if you serve someone alcohol in your house and they become inebriated, and if they go out and if they get into their car and if they injure somebody, you can be liable, right?
Yes.
Why don't you think you're liable for your own table?
Well, I detained him.
You can sit down now, sir. What you're claiming is that he was drunk and fell on your table. Well, that's what you said here.
Yeah, but I detained him for a couple of hours before he got up and decided that he was going to leave. And I said, are you sure you're okay? And he says, yeah, I feel fine. And he by all accounts...
That's what every drunk says when they get behind the wheel of a car.
Well, but he looked fairly lucid. And
just a minute, so he looked okay to you?
Well, I didn't give him a field sobriety test, but I mean...
All right, Mr. Shelley, let me hear your version of these events, sir.
The way the coffee table and the couches are, it's like an L couch, and the coffee tables don't leave a lot of room for regaining one's balance when if you lose your stepping. Right there at the corner of the coffee table, the rugs, there's like rugs on top of the wall-to-wall carpeting. And I tripped on that. That could have happened whether I was drinking or not. And as I started falling, she starts yelling at me. Nothing about, are you okay? Just as I'm losing balance, she starts yelling. And of course, I went down on the table. It was some kind of antique thing, I'm really sorry that, that happened, but...
Well, let me ask you this question, Mr.
Sure.
Shelley. Because I believe that you're probably sorry it happened, and I believe that Ms. Dowling is partially responsible. Did you ever say to her, listen, let me split the cost of fixing this table with you?
I don't recall exactly,
Let's say, put your hand down, Ms. Dowling. Let's say you didn't say it at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Would you think that that's reasonable now?
That sounds reasonable now.
You had a little too much to drink?
Yeah.
She served you a little too much to drink?
It was right there on the coffee table.
Maybe if she served you a little too much to drink.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with that, Miss Dowling?
Well, first of all, the minute I saw that he was inebriated and he was grabbing the bottle and helping himself, I confiscated the alcohol.
Listen, you were probably
And
three sheets to the wind yourself. You had started to drink at 5:30 in the afternoon. You were still drinking at, according to him, 10 o'clock at night. And according to you, you were still drinking rum. You had a rum with him.
I don't think 4 drinks over 5 hours.
You don't know whether he had 4 drinks or 14 drinks. How much did it cost to fix the table? And do you have a bill?
$500.
You have a bill?
Mm-hmm.
Let me have it.
Your Honor, I'd also like to say he went home later on that night. These guys poured him into a cab. They had to physically force him into a cab. And he never came back to get the table.
He shouldn't have come back to get the table. You're going to pay half the table, and he's going to pay half the table.
I attempted to ask him to
Isn't that
bring...
right, sir? Because you think that that's just reasonable. You're
There's
a big
a little-
grown-up. You're going to take a certain amount of responsibility for what you do, right?
Yes. Yes, I agree. Yes, Your Honor.
Perfect. Now, if I could only get Miss Dowling to take similar responsibility on her own, I would be a happy person today. But since I am not able to do that, I'm going to have to do it for her. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $250. That's all.
Yeah, this is case number 543 on the calendar in the matter of Riley versus Mark. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat, please.
Mrs. Riley, I assume this is your daughter and this is your daughter. Is that right?
Correct.
Neither one of you were there on the fateful evening when your daughter got Mrs. Riley's car.
Yes.
And drove it and crashed it.
Yes.
Causing damage. And Mrs. Riley wants you to pay for the damage your daughter caused.
Correct.
And your daughter, whose name is?
Stephanie.
Stephanie says that
Kayla
gave her the keys to the car, so she's responsible. That's your position.
That's what I've been told.
So now that I know what your positions are, and you look like two lovely ladies, you can sit down, and I'm going to have the girls right up there. All right, Kayla, where were you and what were you doing when you gave Stephanie the keys to your mother's car?
I was at a friend's house.
Name of the friend?
Aaron.
How old is Aaron?
I think he's 18.
And how many people were at Aaron's house?
I would say about 10 people.
How old were they?
All around the ages between like 15 and 18.
How many of them were drinking?
I would say almost everyone.
Did you see anyone that said, no, I don't drink?
One of my friends, the friend who said that they were driving, did tell me that they didn't drink.
And who was that?
My friend Felipe.
Who invited you to Aaron's house?
Another one of my friends.
Where were Aaron's parents?
They weren't there. I think that he owns the apartment himself.
So Aaron lives there by himself?
Yes, ma'am. I think so.
What does he do for a living, Aaron?
He goes to school, and I'm not sure what his job is.
He goes to college?
He goes to high school. He's a senior in high school.
What kind of alcohol were they serving?
Beer.
And what time did you get there?
I got there approximately 10:30.
What time did you get there, Stephanie?
Probably like 9:45.
Who did you come with?
My friend Mike.
Your friend Mike?
Yes.
How old is Mike?
Like 18.
And he picked you up from your house?
My friend Danielle's.
Had you been drinking at Danielle's?
No.
You didn't start drinking until you got to Aaron's?
No, I didn't drink there.
You didn't drink anything?
No.
Had nothing to drink? No alcohol?
I had no alcohol.
And Mike, did he have alcohol?
No. He left before, like right when he got there. He only stayed for like 15 minutes, then he left.
Well, and when he was there, he didn't drink?
I wasn't with him at the time.
So, you know you didn't drink. As far as you know, Mike didn't drink. Did you drink?
Yes, ma'am, I had a beer.
Who else didn't drink?
My friend Christina.
She didn't drink?
No.
Now, tell me, Stephanie, how it came about that you got the keys to Kaylee's car.
Kayla got there a little while after me, and when we were standing there,
Standing where?
In the middle, like the kitchen and the living room. And when we were standing there, there's only three people there who had cars. Michael had left, and Aaron, but he wasn't going to leave, and Kayla had a car. And there's a kid, Josh, there, and he needed a ride home. And Kayla said, well, I have a car. And she goes, well, I'm too cocked to drive. So we were standing there, and I offered. I was like, well, I'll drive. And she's like, will you really? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, okay. So
why would you offer to drive? You don't have a driver's license.
No, I don't.
You certainly, according to you, weren't drunk.
No, I was not.
So there's no excuse for you saying that I'll get behind the wheel of a car when that's against the law.
Well, I didn't want Kayla to drive because I didn't know if she was going to drive, so
Let Josh walk. That's what he has legs for.
Yes, I know.
Like Abraham Lincoln. I mean, I would like to hear all the rest of the excuses, Miss Stephanie.
So we were standing there, and then Kayla showed me her keys, and me, her, and another friend walked outside to the car, and there's a couple of our friends standing outside, and they were smoking cigarettes. I got into the car, and I didn't want to go by myself, so I invited Christina and Felipe to go. So we got into the car, I started the car, and Kayla came out and talked to me, and she said, are you going to be okay to have your seatbelt on? And I said, yes. So she shut the door, and she goes, make sure you're back in 20 minutes. And I was like, okay, and I went to bring him home.
So what you're telling me is Kaylee couldn't drive because she was too drunk?
Yes.
And you weren't because you didn't have any alcohol?
No, I wasn't there for long.
Okay. Miss Mark, you can stand up now. Now you can tell me why you think your daughter is not responsible.
I don't think she's responsible because she doesn't have a valid license, and Kayla knew this.
Okay. Now, when you get someone's permission to do something, and they are incapable of giving you permission, that's like having no permission.
Okay.
You can be incapable of giving permission because you're in a coma, you're mentally challenged, you are high on drugs, you're loaded on alcohol. But if you are in any way incapacitated, you can't give a valid permission. Let me give you an example. If you're out with a young man and he knows that you're drunk and he wants to have sex, and he does, and he knows you're drunk, and you say, I didn't give permission. He knew I was drunk. He knew I couldn't consent. He did this against my will. And you'd be right. Now, your daughter just told me that she didn't have anything to drink. Now, I don't believe her necessarily. But that's what she told me, because that's what the good story would be, that she didn't have anything to drink. That, by the way, Miss Mark, is a lie.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your daughter has no reason to be in a situation where she can be high, drunk with a beer, and have keys to your car.
And later today,
I don't like it when somebody plays cute with me. It suggests that you think that you are smarter than I am. And he knows that that's a very dangerous thing to do.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kayla Riley says her former friend, 15-year-old Stephanie Sherman, wrecked her Mazda MX-3. Stephanie says Kayla gave her permission to drive it.
She didn't have anything to drink. So she knew she was 15. She knew she had no permission getting behind the wheel of a car. She knew she couldn't get anybody else's permission to drive a car. Can't drive yours, can she?
No.
No. And according to her, she knew or believed that the reason she couldn't drive to give Josh a ride home was because she was drunk. Because that's what she just told me. She said, Kaylee said to her, I can't drive, I'm too what? Clocked, cocked, whatever it is. I'm too drunk. That's what the connotation was. So she was incapable of giving her permission, according to your daughter, who's lying, by the way. But I'll take it. Now, your daughter has no reason at 17 to be in a situation where she can be high, drunk with a beer, and have keys to your car.
I understand that.
So what do you think, Miss Riley, is reasonable with regard to the damage to your car?
The deductible and the difference I paid for the car.
What was the damage to your car?
They totaled it.
And so what is your out-of-pocket expense? How much did you pay for the car, and how much did you get from insurance?
Okay, I paid for the car $24.75 in May. What I received from the insurance company was $1741.75.
That leaves a difference of $734. Now, did you buy this car for your daughter, or was it your car?
No, I bought it for her.
You bought it for her?
Yes.
Does she now have another car?
No.
That's good. She doesn't need one. 734 divided by 2. 50% for you, 50% for you. Equals $367. You think you're 50% responsible, or your daughter is, for the damage to the car?
We both are. Yes.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $367. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The kid that I was bringing home just went to go grab the steering wheel, and I got nervous, so I turned and I hit the curb. I just should never let anybody else drive my car.
At least she knows better than to get behind the wheel of a car when she's drinking.
I got burns on my face and down my neck, and I got a black eye, like big fat lips.
She could have been killed than everybody else in that car. There was no responsibility. There was no adults.
It was a mistake, and I paid for it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Clark versus Oaks, step forward, please.
Truck driver Michael Clark is suing his former friend, interior designer Deborah Oaks, for the value of a '92 Acura. Deborah is countersuing, claiming Michael breached their contract when he repoed the vehicle.
Mr. Clark, you and Miss Oakes had been friends, according to what I read in your complaint, and you laid out money for her for a car.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you claimed that she did not pay pursuant to your agreement, which was she was supposed to pay every month. You repossessed the car. She refuses to sign the title over to you, which means that the car is virtually worthless to you. And you want her to either sign the car over to you or you want the value of the car.
In addition to some rental for the time that she had it, she was renting a car.
Just a sec. I didn't ask you for a whole story.
Sorry.
That's about what your case is.
Yes.
Ms. Oak says that she was not in default of her payment, that you repossessed the car prematurely, and that she is counterclaiming for $5,000 for a whole bunch of nonsense, because she says that by the time you repossessed the car, then she didn't have a car and she couldn't get to work. She lost her job. She lost her life. She had to rent a car, which she wouldn't have had to rent if you didn't repossess the car. That's your counterclaim.
Right.
How long had you been friends?
A few months.
Where did you meet her?
Through a mutual friend.
Did you have a dating relationship?
No, we just hit it off. I felt that we were going to be very good friends. I was interested in dating her if it came down to that. If it didn't, that was fine. But shortly after we met, her car took a dive, and she needed a vehicle. She rented one, and over the course of about a month, she claimed she paid about $3,000 for a rental. I thought that's ridiculous. You know, I've got this money sitting in the bank. Why don't I loan you the money for a car, but get you a car. If you can pay that rental, you can pay me back. And so we went out shopping for a car. We found one we really liked, and she was supposed to have half to a third of the money within a week from her father, who was going to help her with it. That never materialized.
When was the car purchased?
The car was purchased on December the 4th. On December 5th...
Listen to me, Mr. Clark. I work much better when I ask the questions.
Okay.
Purchased the car on December the 4th. Now, Ms. Oakes, it was your agreement that payments were going to be made directly to Mr. Clark.
Yes, it was.
In what increments?
A minimum of $200 per month by the 15th of each month, beginning in January.
And you made a written agreement with regard to that?
Yes.
I'd like to see the written agreement.
Well, this is the original.
All I want to see is the original agreement that you signed with him.
Your Honor? Sorry.
You know, Miss Oakes, I don't like it when somebody plays cute with me, because it suggests that you think that you are smarter than I am. And he knows that that's a very dangerous thing to do, because it is highly unlikely that that's true. You have a typed agreement, and your typed agreement says that the money is to be paid on the 15th of each month. Yours has, in your handwriting, starting in January.
Because we had a verbal...
I'm speaking. His copy doesn't have that. Mr. Clark says that you didn't make the payment in December. He waited until the first week in
January.
And he took the car back because you had breached the agreement. Your defense is that according to your agreement, it wasn't supposed to start until January 15th. So therefore, you were not late in your payment. But you wrote that in. And it's not in his contract.
That was to our verbal agreement. Those were my personal
You don't
notes.
have a verbal agreement other than that which is contained within the four corners of this contract. Who's got the title?
I do, Your Honor.
Can I see it, please? When did you first ask her for the money, sir?
I'd been hitting her up ever since we got the car, because the money from her father was supposed to come in, and she did tell me that her uncle had died.
That's not true.
Her parents were coming into town, and when I asked her for money, she said, well, they spent all the money on airfare. I don't know how much is going to be there, da-da-da-da-da. Well, the uncle wasn't part of our agreement.
Before we go any further, I want each of them to sign the title to the car so that when I make a decision, it's all signed off on. He under his, she under hers, and then give it back to me. And then I'll take it back, Bert. After she signs it, I'll take it back. On what date, Mr. Clark, did you take possession of the car?
It was on the 10th of January, and I was assaulted in doing so.
How were you assaulted, sir?
She came out, I put a club on it because she was blocked in, so I couldn't get the car out. She came out, when she saw the club, she became irate, saw me in the parking lot next to me and started yelling at me. And I walked over, tell her she's late, she's default on the loan. And that's when she turned around and cold cocked me. Her ring caught my cheek, drew blood. At that point I figured...
Did you file a police report?
No, I did not.
Why not?
I was at the desk to do it, and the police called on my cell phone. I answered it, they asked me to come back to the scene. I went back there, I asked to have her arrested. They wouldn't arrest her. They told me they were going to arrest me. And I explained to them it was my vehicle. We spoke to the watch commander. Watch commander told them that they can't arrest me.
Now, would you give this, please, to Mr. Clark? Now, Ms. Oaks, I'm going to hear your counterclaim.
In rebuttal to what he has said here, first of all, I offered that day when he came to my office.
You mean on the 10th of January?
Exactly. Caused a total scene. My boss was the one who called the police.
Okay.
Because of his reaction. Now, I offered him that day to pay him $500. He would not accept my money.
Ms. Oaks, he had contacted you prior to that to make a payment in December. And if you had the money, why didn't you make the payment in December?
Because he did not ask me for the money at that time. And as far as I was concerned...
What did he ask you for? Shh. What did he ask you for when he contacted you in December?
Do you want to go to lunch?
Is that true?
That's an absolute lie.
Okay, let's hear the rest of your counterclaim.
As a result of him taking the car, I've had to incur rental fees for the car.
Well, you had rental fees before that.
Yes, I had.
So that even prior to this, you were renting a car. It's not as if you sold a car in order because he gave you the money for this car. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes. At the time that he came to me with this offer of buying the car, I had another option. I chose not to go with that option, which was...
which was what?
To get a car with somebody else.
What do you mean get a car? Why don't you get a car by yourself?
A family friend was going to loan me their car.
Ms. Oaks, grow up. You have a car now?
No, I don't.
Well, get one.
Yeah, I'd like to if I had the money.
Get one.
But I've lost my job.
What do you want from him?
Because of him, I lost my job. Because I don't have a car to go to and from work and to do the responsibilities I have throughout the day at my business.
Why don't you rent
Because he gave me no notice whatsoever and took my car out of the parking lot.
You just said, listen to me.
Because I lost my job.
Ms. Oaks,
I'm speaking.
Don't speak over me. How much did the rental car cost you for the month prior, from November 5th to December 5th? How much did it cost you?
A couple $1,000s total.
Well, he just saved you a couple of $1,000s by not having to rent a car for that entire month.
The reason he chose to bring this up to me and offer me this deal was because I had turned in the rental car that I had previous to this because I could no longer afford it. That was what happened.
How old are you? How old are you, my dear?
32.
32. Take care of yourself.
I'm
Mr.
trying.
Clark, you now have the title. You can now go and sell the car. Do you understand?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Probably have to sell it at a little bit of a loss. It'll teach you, you know, you got to think with your brain, this part of your body,
I realize
not any
that.
other part of your body. Do you understand? You think with this part of your body. Miss Oaks, you're 32 years old. Take care of yourself. Counterclaims dismissed. That's
Thank you.
All these are excused. You may step out.